You're listening to The Real Estate Ride. Make sure to subscribe and enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, it's Annie and
Jay Adkins.
this is The Real Estate Ride. And today we are going to talk to you about a project that we have been working on. We've actually acquired it. It was a burned property, so it caught on fire.
Yes.
And Jay, you were contacted by the owner or by a wholesaler?
No, actually, this deal came from a wholesaler. So you can still get some good deals from wholesalers.
And for those newbies out there, a wholesaler is?
That is someone who has got a property under contract and then they are selling their contract or assigning, which there's actually new laws in
The state of Ohio.
the state of Ohio for that, but that's a different call.
That's a different podcast and call and all kinds
Yeah.
of things. So we are talking about this particular project that we have that we purchased from a wholesaler. It was a burned property caught on fire in the bathroom. So it burned a good portion of the one side of the house.
Yes. In fact, it was basically a total loss as far as the insurance company was concerned. We did gut it. We took out all of the old plaster. It had plaster and lath. It had, we did leave the wood floors. There's a lot of poly on them, and they're actually going to be sandable and recoverable. So
Most of them.
that's pretty cool. Yeah, most. Some were burnt. It caught on fire in the bathroom. It was a curling iron,
Or a flat iron.
I believe,
Yep.
or a flat iron. And yeah, knob and tube wiring in the house, and a little bit too much voltage or whatever, but it caught on fire and burned up about 20% of the roof, which it was new. So we replaced probably 35% of the roof. The rest of the shingles were fine. We were able to find a match and restore it so it looks all brand new again.
So a lot of real estate investors will shy away from projects like this because it's too much time or effort or potential money in their minds. So those are the ones that Jay and I really kind of go after.
Yes.
The ones that are full of mold, the ones that have foundation issues. This one, again, caught on fire. So it needed some help with the roof. It needed some help interiorly,
Yeah.
exteriorly on the siding. Different things like the windows
Windows were junk.
blown out in some cases and
Yeah.
others.
Yeah.
But those aren't like ones that you should necessarily shy away from just because it seems like there is some additional work, because in all honesty, the insurance company totaled it out. The owners therefore got their check and basically walked. So they were ready to deal.
Yeah. A lot of investors will run away from deals like that because, one, it's stuff that they don't know how to do. Number two, they have fear of spending too much, because that can be an issue, right? And it's out of their wheelhouse. So to handle the smoke, we sealed everything with Zenzer oil-based
Primer.
restoration sealant, basically.
Yeah, it's not really a primer, it's a sealant.
A bonding primer / sealant. It's good for smoke, blood, anything like that.
Sounds fabulous, doesn't it? But it's truthfully something that only works in a smoked filled or smoke singed property. We've tried Kills oil base and it's not as good. We've tried Kills water base and it definitely is not as good.
Yeah.
So there are bonding primers and restoration products that we use that are a little more pricey, but it works. And if you take that into consideration in your rehab budget, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. And we tried to leave everything in place to keep the mechanical costs down. Okay. So
Yeah, if you're moving HVAC or plumbing or electrical, then it costs more because you have to rerun lines or move ductwork or cut into walls. Even though we were ripping out walls, we still didn't want to move mechanicals.
Yeah, we were ripping out the finished walls, which actually that's another reason why people shy away from it. When you rip stuff open, you find other stuff wrong.
Right.
And that was the case on this job. So when we ripped everything open, we discovered that as a support beam, someone had put in a 4x4
That's
to support the weight of the roof, and that was an add-on. And so when we ripped everything out, we then hired a structural engineer to come in and say, you need to sister this, replace that, put this LVL beam in. Sistering something is where you have a rafter or a joist, and most of it's good, but a section is not. So you're going to sister or sandwich that on both sides. So sister, you just do one side, sandwich, you're doing both sides. And so we were able,
and sturdier.
yeah, we were able to do a combination of all of those elements. Plus he recommended a certain size LVL to replace the 4x4 post. And that was an additional expense. And so then you have to either A, come out of pocket, or B, do some alternative to your rehab cost estimate now. Okay.
The original plan needed to be adjusted because the money wasn't there.
Yeah.
In other words.
Yeah. So we had that extra expense. And then we had a few other additional expenses. So to offset those, we are installing used cabinets and then refinishing them.
So yeah, they may be used cabinets, but we are painting them. We're adding new doors. We're adding new hardware, new hinges.
Yeah.
So you will not be able to tell that they are used cabinets 100%. But we had them in stock in our storage.
Yeah.
They had been taken out of another project that we did that we didn't need them in, or they were left over from several different projects. So some of them are brand new, unpainted, unstained. Some of them are used, painted. So we're just doctoring them up. You'll never be able to tell that they're used at all. And we can actually do a walkthrough when it's done, so we can have a series kind of thing on this.
Yeah. So that'll reduce our expense probably about $3,000 from having to buy the new cabinets. And so that will make up for the extra money that we spent for the beam and some other framing that wasn't visible before we ripped out all of the walls.
So now this project has been in the works for quite some time, and we are at the end stages of it. So we're putting it all back together now. All of the structural stuff has been done. The windows have been replaced. The siding has been fixed. The doors have been installed. The drywall has been installed. The HVAC has been updated.
Yes.
Everything, the wiring has been replaced or fixed or
yes,
altered a little bit.
And now we are moving into hustle mode, like bring in extra people, try to get it done. We have a target date of this weekend to get it on the market. And that is going to be a challenge for sure.
Yeah.
But we have brought in extra crews and split them up. So we have some crews finishing up exterior, a couple of crews doing
interior
kitchen and bath, and then the other crews are working on, finish paint, doors, and little punch out items.
finishing stuff.
Yeah, finishing stuff.
So in the process of doing all of this, we put a plan together at the beginning, like we talked about, with a budget on how we were going to rehab this house. Since then, things have been adjusted because of things that we have found and other things that have occurred, like ordering wise and accessibility wise for products and things like that. So now that we're in crunch mode, we're bringing in other people, but we're also picking paint and flooring and countertops, and all of those things. So we were going to talk a little bit about that, only because, again, we had a set plan, and now those things are slightly deterred or different because of things that have occurred with scheduling, logistic wise or what have you. We went to walk the property today. And we have found that either contractors didn't listen to what they were told, which happens often, more often than we than we care to admit sometimes, or it was misconstrued, it was misunderstood, whatever the case may be. There is a wall that is mind-boggling to me that no one has pointed that out until today, that it is slightly crooked, so that will need to be fixed. There are parts of a floor that I thought probably should have been replaced that we initially didn't think that was going to need to be replaced because it had been burnt. So we're adjusting things that way too.
We were going to sand it off,
Right.
and see if the burn marks came out. But we opted to do a different option for that and do a different floor that will connect the bathroom, the hallway, and a closet, all in one flowing pattern for that.
So when we put a project together, I do all of the interior design stuff typically. He does the layout, but I do like the colors because he's colorblind and just kind of coordinate it all together. So we also walked through the property to figure out how many lights that we needed, what type of lights those were, if they were wired correctly for a ceiling fan, if I needed to pick out a regular light instead of a ceiling fan, if we were doing if we needed exterior lights, if we needed doors that were different than what are already on site.
Yes. One thing we're going to change, because we're increasing the volume of flips that we're going to be doing, we will be selecting all of the materials beforehand, and the entire house will be laid out, light fixture, color, swatches. You have a mood board that you can set up, and that will lay out everything that is going into that property.
So we have a program that we use called House Pro. It's a great program. It has its glitches like every program, but that's just a personal choice of ours to use. That is something that's available to pretty much everyone out there, I think. It's costly depending on how many users you have, but anyway, it's not totally unreasonable at the same time. So we have the options in that program to do floor layouts, 3D and otherwise, mood boards like Jay mentioned, which is the colors that you're using for the walls, if it's all going to be one color, if you're using any color you're putting anywhere, basically.
Yeah.
The type of countertop you're using, the type of cabinets you're using, the vanity that you want, the lights that you want, and where you want those placed. Are you doing ceiling fans in bedrooms? Are you doing just lights? Are you doing pendant lights in the kitchen or in the dining room? Are you doing exterior lights? Are you doing literally anything? What kind of countertop you're using? Is it going to be butcher block? Is it going to be granite? Is it going to
Yes.
whatever the case, quartz or anything, whatever. What else? The type of vanities, the type of toilets, if it's going to be a shower, if it's going to be a bathtub, are you going to do an enclosure? Are you doing tile? Are you going to backsplash? Anything like that. So all of that goes on the board per room. You can also do all of the floor layouts, floor plan layouts per room, and then for the whole house in there as well. So it all goes in there. Then you can set up your budgets in there. Then you can set up any receipts that you have for merchandise, material.
Yes.
Or anything purchased can also go back into that same file inside House Pro. So that is a very key component that we are really kind of taking advantage of all of the ability that it can use moving forward, or that it can do and we can use moving forward. So even if you don't have that program, everyone has access to Google Docs and Google Sheets and Pinterest, Home Depot's website, Lowe's website. There's other applications that you can use to do free floor plans. I'm not saying go and spend $200 a month on this program, which is what we spend, I think, just to have all of those things. If you're just starting out, especially, none of that is necessary. But you do need to keep track. So even if you have a manila folder with
or a Google Sheet
or a Google Sheet or something like that you can use Pinterest. I think it's still free, that you can pull all of those things in and create a mood board on there and then share it with your contractors or your project manager.
Keep it on the job site.
Yes, so that everybody knows, everybody has access to it. Even if you get one of those boxes that you see posted for permits and other things on the job site and slide it all in there, something that or put it in a kitchen cabinet.
Piece of paper in a Ziploc gallon-sized bag. Tape it with blue tape.
Yeah.
All of that costs $5.
So you can go as low end or as high end as you want on this stuff, but you definitely need to make sure that you have something in writing that everyone has access to that will be on the job site. Otherwise, you're going to be on the phone all of the time.
Yeah.
And it's potentially not going to end up the way that you anticipated and the way that you envisioned, because no one is actually paying attention to the words that are coming out of your mouth. Ask me how.
Yes. So why did we pick this house? Right? I think that's an important topic to go over. Of course, the price was a big factor. We did negotiate the price down some, and it worked for what we needed and wanted to do.
Right.
But other amenities that we really liked, that first-time home buyers like, okay, we primarily sell in the first-time home buyer price range, or pocket, I'd like to call it.
Right.
So for us in Central Ohio, that is like, on the low end, if you're lucky, 150,000.
These days.
More like 200 now. 200 on the low end to about 3 or 350 on the high end. So that's where we want to stay, in that price range. And so this house was a ranch. There's not a lot of ranches around. It is smaller, but it does have a full basement. So that's a big bonus for storage. It also has a detached 2-car garage that also has extra room for storage. Then it also has a fenced yard. And so those are all factors that buyers want.
Mm-hmm.
They want storage. They want a garage.
Fenced in yard.
Yeah, I would say the one negative to this house is 1 bath. So, but it is only
Bedroom.
a 2-bedroom that is a little under 900 square feet on the first floor. And so there really wasn't any good spot to
Add another one.
add a half bath or a full bath without taking up a large room or reconfiguring all the framing, which then actually takes you out of your rehab budget and out of your profit center. So you have a list of wants when you do a rehab, and then you have to shrink that down to the needs. What do you need to sell this house? And so that's why we opted to stick with the 2 beds and 1 bath on the first floor.
Yep. And we typically try to add a second bath or a half bath to something like that we come across. But like Jay said, potentially it could get you out of your rehab budget cost estimation significantly, potentially, and therefore cuts into your profit. So sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
So,
and this one has a kind of an odd shaped entryway and living room. It's like an L. And so we will definitely stage it to show like, hey, this is a great layout with furniture. That really helps people visualize what the house looks like with people living in it, or with them living in it.
yes.
And then we always offer the furniture for sale as well.
Sometimes it's been taken up on and sometimes it hasn't. So it works. It works really well in our area anyway. And in the price range that Jay mentioned, there's still actual bidding wars happening in Central Ohio over houses, which is crazy to say in this day and age, but it is truly happening.
And we use a combination of our own stuff for staging, and we rent as well, if it makes sense. But typically we're renting a little something and then filling in with our own furniture that we've acquired But typically we're doing multiple flips at a time, and that's just too much furniture for us to store. So
Yeah. I mean, we've been doing this a long time. So we have a garage that has appliances, we have a garage that and mechanical stuff, and then we have a garage that has staging stuff, and then we have a garage that has supplies for things that can be used in houses because we've either over purchased or got a really good deal on things and have held on to material because the sales price at the time was just too good to pass.
yeah, and you can hire someone to stage for you, and a lot of times they have their own furniture. Obviously you're going to pay more. We've opted to do a hybrid of renting some stuff, which they will deliver it for us and set it up. So that's nice. And then we have crews of people that will rent a U-Haul truck and bring the rest of our stuff in with that and set it all up, get our pictures and get it live. And then the goal is multiple offers, right? Within
Right.
the first week.
And if you are obtaining furniture for staging, you do not have to buy brand new furniture. We are not saying go to the furniture store
No.
and thousands of dollars on a living room set. No, please do not do that.
No, there's so
You
much.
can get them from family members if they're downsizing or if they're trading out furniture that are in great shape. You can get it from a resale store or Goodwill or things like that. You can get it off of OfferUp. That's across the country.
That's an app.
It's an app on your phone. You can get it off of Craigslist. You can get it off of Facebook Marketplace. It does
Yep.
not have to be brand new. If it needs a shampoo, then shampoo it, like rent a shampooer and shampoo it. But it does not, as long as it doesn't look trashy or janky.
It needs to look nice, like new. Like you want it to look
Needs to
new.
look new, but it does not by any way, shape, or form need to be new. So you just need to, and I can do a different episode that shows you some of the stuff that we have and where we've gotten it, or I can actually even maybe take them shopping sometime, potentially.
Yeah, if that interests you, let us know.
Rent things from Aaron's and Rent-A-Center and places like that. So they are brand new. And we have had houses that sat on the market staged to the point where we own the furniture. That is not happening these days.
Yeah, and some rental places won't do it. Like they're individually managed, owned. So one Rent-A-Center on one little town might say yes, and the other one on the other side of town might say no. So keep asking around
And ask the managers. Don't ask the people that work there to speak to a manager because those are the ones that can say yes or no. And if you're going to do several, then set up an account with them and just go to them for furniture every time you need it. And if, like I said, if you're doing several, so one every 4 or 6 months or one every 3 months or whatever the case may be, you're going to develop that relationship with them. And then you're going to start getting discounts on the furniture and having the opportunity to have more furniture in there that you may not necessarily qualify for as a renter otherwise.
Yeah. Yep. And we typically don't do curtains or blinds. We leave it wide open. Let all the light in you can let in.
Yep.
A lot of people do blinds or curtains. We just choose not to do that.
We don't typically hang anything on the walls. We don't.
No.
Like we just do furniture.
And we might do a couple of fake plants.
Yep.
Or
or knickknacks sitting around, but pictures or artwork. Other people have done artwork. We don't do that. I mean, either way, it's just a preference, honestly. But I don't personally put things on the walls because either you have to hang them with command strips, which could rip the paint off the wall, or you have to put a hole in the wall, either of which I don't want to do because I'm not moving into that house.
Yeah, that's just what we choose. Like, it doesn't have to be what you choose.
Preference.
What else? Oh, we do landscaping on the outside, but we keep it very simple, very basic.
Because 1, you don't know how long it's going to be listed, and 2, the weather could make or break a brand new plant.
Yeah, like it's, right now in Ohio, it's 90 plus degrees. And so
You would have to go and water your plant every day.
think if you have 5 flips in 5 different cities and you're trying, like, every day your job is to go water plants,
And that's
basically.
And we don't want to have to pay somebody to do that. So typically we do mulch in the flower bed. we may add a
hardy bushes or flowers.
So honestly, we haven't been doing that either. We've just been cleaning it out of the weeds and making it look nice with mulch. And
Yeah, we might put some hostas in, something that's very low maintenance. Shrubberies are great.
These are great.
Whatever doesn't need a ton of watering. So
yeah,
consider that as well.
So that's the latest and greatest on a project that we have going on a time crunch. So we can keep you posted on that.
Yeah, if you have other questions about it, reach out, let us know. We're happy to answer any of them.
Hope you have a great day.
Bye.
Hey everybody, it's Jay.
This is Annie.
We are so grateful for you joining us on our podcast and listening in and participating. We want to offer you this additional free bonus, and that is joining our Facebook group.
Yes, where we will have other individuals, not just us, but having conversations on all things real estate, and we would love to have you join us. So just click the link below and head on over and join our group.
Thanks guys, we'll see you on the other side.